What's up, guys? It's Devin. Card Show Pickups is the video that I have for today. I attended the Lansing Card Show. This would be last Saturday, so I'm recording this 1 week after the day of the show. The day of the show would have been Saturday, April 26th. The Lansing Card Show is a once-a-month show run inside the Lansing Mall. It happens on the fourth Saturday of every month. Time of the show is 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can definitely get there earlier, though, and walk around, see what dealers are set up. The majority of people are set up closer to that 9 to 10 range, though. It is free entrance, free parking, and it is monthly, and it's a pretty good one inside Michigan. I want to say the last one was around 300 to 350 tables, so it was a pretty good-sized show. And then it is run by Dennis, who owns Avery Shoebox, which is a card shop inside the Lansing Mall. So it's kind of like a 2-for-1 there. You can check out the card shop. You can check out the show all on the same day. For me, I'm working more on selling than I am buying right now. I'm kind of buying low-risk stuff, in my opinion. Trying to work on selling some stuff before the National in about 4 months, especially with a kid I have upcoming. My wife and I should be expecting here in the next couple of weeks by the time this video is posting. Middle of May, we should have our second child here with us. So I'm trying to limit the amount of stuff that I need to sell at card shows, kind of sticking to stuff that I think will maintain its value and or increase over the next few months. And other things that if I don't think it's going to increase and I need to sell it, I need to be able to offload it onto eBay and be able to take the hit on fees and or sell them in bulk, whatever it is. Just be a little bit less risky on some of my plays. Now I'll go over what I purchased. I did end up buying some stuff and trading for some stuff, and that is what you see in front of you here today. I ended up spending $2,000, $2,069 on everything in front of you. I don't really have a great estimated value because I ended up buying a bunch of bulk, cheap PSA Pokemon slabs. I'm unsure of the true value. I didn't go through and comp all of them. I kind of just bought them in a range I was comfortable with and kind of see what will happen with those over the next few weeks. I kind of have some ideas of what I'll do with them, but we'll see if it ends up working out. And then everything else was kind of just miscellaneous stuff that I found either walking or that came up to the table. I'll go over some of the sealed wax first. This set right here seems to be a no-brainer. Sword and Shield seems to be very much becoming more and more popular and increasing in price for Pokemon. Scarlet and Violet seems to be available in abundance. Sword and Shield, not as much. Evolving Skies sealed build and battle boxes. The sealed stuff people are definitely looking out after and for, so kind of excited about these. They only come with 4 packs of Evolving Skies per, but the fact that they are sealed, they've been holding a little bit better value than loose Evolving Skies packs. So 2 of those walked up at the very end of the show, and that was hard to say no to either of those. Next up is a pair of 1994 Upper Deck Series 1 boxes. Now, these ones specifically have become very popular in the last couple of months. Very much increasing in price, which could be a good thing or bad thing for me. They could offload pretty quickly and people want them pretty quick, or I could have bought them at the peak and they could decrease. We'll end up seeing what happens there. But the big chasers here, MJ has his star rookies, so his baseball rookie card and the White Sox uniform. And then the very coveted, but very difficult to hit Mickey Mantle and Ken Griffey Jr. dual autograph cards. So that is one that you can hit in these boxes. That's what makes them, I think, more valuable than the Jordan stuff. You can hit parallels of the Jordan cards, which is definitely can carry a premium, but the Mickey Mantle and Ken Griffey Jr. dual autos definitely are the ones that carry the price and value in these boxes. So 2 of those bad boys, picked those up. So that was the sealed wax from the show. We'll go over some of the better slabs. This is the only sports slab that I picked up. 1963 Stancraft cards, 6 of diamonds of Otto Graham, as a PSA 10. This is going to be a pretty low pop, a pop 26. Pop 26 from 1963 of Otto Graham. Just seemed like a fun piece to pick up in one of those if you pick it up at the right price. I'm not too worried about it decreasing in price by the time I'm able to turn around and sell it. Next up is going to be 7 slabs. These are all Pokemon, and then these 2 big stacks here are all Pokemon. These are the ones that I picked up bulk. I didn't really comp prices on any of this stuff when I was looking. If it was stuff that was stickered around the $10 range or lower, I was buying it just to kind of take a gamble on it. I figured Pokemon is so hot that I give it a go, and I know there's lots of people out there on Facebook groups and other places that are wanting to buy cheap Pokemon slabs for grab bags, for chasers, whatever they're doing, repacks. So I think there's kind of a market for that stuff no matter what. So I figure as long as I could get it at the right price point, maybe there'd be a couple sneaky ones that would be more valuable than what I thought, which ended up being the case. That one and that one. These ended up being mishaps. Didn't realize this was a German one, which probably isn't going to do me any good with a German Pokemon card here in the United States. And then this one, unfortunately, I didn't realize actually has a cracked case at the top. And I feel like if anybody's going to use this for a repack or anything of that nature, they're probably not going to want a crack slab. So both of those were mishaps on my fault. My bad on those ones, which it happens, no big deal. Those are probably going to be break-even type slabs, which is no big deal. These 5 ended up being worth more than I thought when buying them. Ended up purchasing on average, I think the average slab I paid was around $9 to $10, somewhere around there for everything. And like I said, when I was at tables, I wasn't comping these, or I wasn't looking up sold prices. If they had sticker prices $10 or under, I was probably interested in going to buy them as long as I thought it was a reasonable card, which is what I did. These 5 ended up being worth $20 each. So I ended up getting pretty lucky on some of these. So if I was buying for an average of $9 to $10 a piece, and I ended up getting ones that were valued at $20, that was a pretty decent come up there. Still have to turn around and sell them. These are just expected values, but you got a Rotom from Shining Fates Hollow as a 9. XY Evolutions Chansey Hollow as a 9. You got a first edition Neo Genesis Gligar as an 8. A first edition Jungle Seeking as an 8. And then the last one is the Master Ball Reverse Foil Japanese Staryu. You can kind of see there the little Pokeballs. They have little M's, which is not a Pokeball. It is a Master Ball as a 9. So those ones I'm actually going to ship out to my ComC. Check out my card store. That's where these 7 will go to. Like I said, the top 2 were kind of bummers. Crack slab, German card, totally didn't realize. Bottom 5 were kind of nice little come-ups there. So got some value there, kind of unexpected, but some nice unexpected value. These stacks here are everything that I'm going to work on bulk selling to someone. I kind of have one gentleman in mind that I'll be working on selling this lot to. And then if that relationship continues, I look out for some more from them at further shows. But we'll see what's going on. These are all ones that after I came home and priced them out, they all seem to be around accurate value around that $10 range. Some of them were around that $15. It just didn't really make sense. If they were worth $15, I might as well just put them into bulk sales than try to sell them individually. A couple Japanese to start off. First edition Lance's TM number 1 as an 8. And these are all going to be graded by PSA. Then the other Japanese is a Paldean Student as a 9. So like I said, definitely going to be some cool ones in here. There's going to be some 9s. There's going to be some bad grades, like some 5s and 6s in here. But overall, just stuff that I think that'll work very well for someone who's looking to buy bulk PSA slabs. I think it's increasingly more difficult to get them at a reasonable price. So that's kind of where my mindset was here. You got an Electrode as a 9. From Pokemon Go, a Full Art Blanche Secret as a 9. Kofu, Ultra Rare Trainer as a 9. Drapion V as a 9. Super Scoop Up from 2005 as a 9. Gym Trainer from Shining Fates as a 9. Zorora Hollow as a 9. Wallace Full Art Trainer as a 9. Now, if I was going to a bunch of shows, I think these are maybe ones, there's definitely ones that maybe I could hang on to that could be valued around that $15 to $18 range. That would make more sense to sell individually than put in the, bulk lots to somebody who's going to be a repacker. But I'm just not hitting the shows right now with my family expanding here in the next couple of weeks. So I've been a little bit more diligent and thinking through some things and letting some things go in bulk and shaving off a few dollars, more so than I typically do, just because I don't have the opportunity to sell them as much as I used to. Hiker Full Art as a 9. And that's not going to be a permanent thing. It's just going to be pretty hectic the first couple months that the baby is here. I basically have the Shipshewana Card Show is scheduled for the end of May, and I don't think I have another one scheduled until the National Card Show and the end of July. Maybe I would do a Lansing show in June, but that's kind of going to be it until the National. So not too much airtime or face-to-face at card shows as I usually have here in the near future. Skip Loom as a 9. McDonald's Collection Froakie as a 9. Avery Full Art Trainer as a 9. Drapion V-Star as a 9. Zaytu as a 9. Baignette as a 9. Vaporeon EX as a 9. 2000 Rocket Potion Energy as an 8. Sneasel Hollow as an 8. Light Dugong from Neo Destiny as an 8. Cacnea as an 8. Matang Hollow as an 8. Ammonite First Edition Fossil as an 8. I do like the variety I ended up getting, which was pretty cool. They weren't like, none of them were all ultra modern. None of them were all vintage. It was a nice little combination. There's some vintage, 8s and 9s. There's some new school 8s and 9s. There's some lower grades. It was kind of nice that it ended up working out where it's all kind of mixed and matched, and it's not just one era, one set, same grade, which was kind of cool. Kabuto First Edition as an 8. Rhyhorn Jungle First Edition as an 8. Nidoran First Edition Jungle as an 8. And Gordy Full Art Secret Trainer as an 8. There did end up being in here a good amount of duplicates of 3 characters, but to me it seemed like a no-brainer for what they were, and I'll explain once they pop up. Seadra Fossil as a 6. These are going to be some of the lower grades. Energy Recycle System Reverse as a 6. Water Cube number 1 TM as a 6. Lieutenant Surge's Jolteon as a 5. Charmander Shadowless as a 5. Kind of crazy that this one was as cheap as it was, being shadowless and from that original set. But Druddigon as a 10. This was the only one that was a 10 that I ended up picking up for $10 or less. Everything else was 9 or lower. Kabuto with the Wizards stamp, gold stamp as a 5. And I think this is the beginning. I'm going to pull out a bunch of the duplicates. All right. a gentleman had all of these from the 151 poster collection boxes that had the 3 starters. It had Squirtle, Charmander, and Bulbasaur, and they were all decent grades as 8 and 9s. And I just thought for the price point, for being the starters and from a popular set like 151, it just made sense to pick up a bunch of them, even if they were the same ones. So this is a bunch of Squirtles 151 poster collection as a 9. There ended up being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All of those were graded as a 9 for Squirtle. And then for Charmander, same thing from the 151 poster collection. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. So 7 of the Charmander, 6 of the Squirtle. And then you got the Bulbasaur, same thing from the 151 as 9s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 Bulbasaurs as 9s, 7 Charmander as 9s, and then 6 of the Squirtles. And then you had some of the 8s that popped out. It was still same thing. It just seemed like a no-brainer, even as an 8. So Squirtle 151 as an 8, a Bulbasaur as an 8, another Bulbasaur as a 9. So it ended up being 8 of those then. And then the last one, a Celebrations Gold Star Greninja as a 7. If this would have been a better grade as an 8 or above, this would have been, I think, in the $20 plus pile, if I'm not mistaken, but I think ended up as a 7. It was right around that $12 to $15 range, so it just made sense to put it into the bulk pile. So that was all of the Pokemon slabs. So you had the 7 that I'm shipping out to my Checkout My Card store, the 1 sports card that I'll probably throw up on my eBay store and or social media profiles, and then the 2 big stacks of bulk slabs, I'm calling them. I think there ended up being 59 of those. So 59 of those, and then 7 of the other ones. Ended up getting 66 total Pokemon slabs at the show. So that was it. A little bit of wax, sports, Pokemon, a lot of Pokemon slabs, very little sports stuff. Like I said, I'm kind of a little bit more hesitant to purchase stuff at the moment because I'm not out and about as much. So the purchasing I'm doing, I'm either very confident in its maintaining its value. I think they're quick flips, or it's something that I think can sell online and the shipping and fees won't eat into the value of the item too much. So that was kind of everything. Like I said, $2,069 is what I spent on everything in front of you. That was everything I picked up at the show. Thank you so much for watching. Everyone have a great day, and don't forget to smile. Later, guys.